Alright, technical difficulties aside, I wanted to make a fucking video on this shit, read off a couple comments that I made that might not be worded as well spontaneously. Did it start off with this fucking dirty fly dollar store bandana. Alright, so this video is, you hear me talk about Satanists, it's basically the same fucking thing. What is Hey Juggalo? And you hear all the songs try to tell you, and they're unable to tell you, for a good fucking reason. Because, quite frankly, Juggalo is an individual that doesn't care what others fucking think. They love themselves. So we're going to go through some comments of where I think I worded it rather well in this group, Real Juggalos and Juggalettes for Life on Facebook. So this dude says, whoop whoop. Yeah, it's our signature sound. We know where to find our other crazy, like-minded, free-spirited individuals just by yelling the noise like that. And anyone who echoes it back, we know. We know. Let me get rid of that. Don't want anybody to troll and say, oh, he's afraid to show his face. Yeah, bet. So this guy says, whoop whoop, I'm down as hell right now. And I'm like, right now? Why only right now? I'm gonna be down with the clown till I'm dead in the ground. That's the song lyric suggestion. There are actually a couple songs on this, try to hint at people, what is a juggalo? I don't know, but I'm down with the clown and I'm down for life, yo. To really understand this is to say, what's an individual? What is a fucking soul? What is a person? Because we have a lot of people, all your fake juggalo, real juggalo, this and that, juggaho, and all this dumb shit. You can't be more juggalo than another juggalo, by the way. You either are or aren't. You're born that way. If you guys seen my videos on Satanism and why that particularly brings me joy, then you already kind of know what a juggalo is. A juggalo is basically an individual who's unashamed to be himself. With the attitude, fuck the world, fuck them all, fuck you, fuck me, fuck us. Right there in the lyrics, but since people don't get it, I'm going to elaborate. Even in our own inner circles, people don't necessarily get it. So I said, why only, I'll elaborate on these as we go along and then spit some fucking philosophy at the end. Why only right now? I'm going to be down till I'm dead in the ground. This dude says, it changes as you mature, right? Like Goth, no. It doesn't. It does, but it doesn't. I'm not dressed all in black. I don't have black nail polish. But what it means never changes. I am Goth. I am not necessarily publicly acceptable. I am Asperger's. I am autistic. I am whatever the fuck that it is that I am. I am what I am. Popeye said that shit best. Which is actually a Bible quote, but just kind of slurred with a Y for yam instead of am. Anyway, it changes as you mature. No, I don't. I no longer go around calling myself a juggalo. I just like old ICP's older music. And so to me that means then you never were. I didn't even see this one from Vicky Pocaris. I guess because it omitted those with similar replies. But Darky Cock Asian, because we can trust people to love themselves with a name like that. Probably just a troll, but nevertheless these subjects need to be confronted. So here I am, Kevin Chaos, Juggalo Trip, whoop whoop, Manic Maniac, the Autistic Wizard, yours truly. Alright, so he says, I can't make myself like the new shit. Number 4 in Roman numerals, tried. Every once in a while I might like one song off an album. Well, that's fine. Juggalo, it doesn't necessarily mean gang member, which many people think it does. Juggalo doesn't necessarily mean a fan of music, which many people think it has to if it doesn't mean gang member. No, Juggalo means I'm a fan of me. And fuck you if you're not. You don't have to be around it. I don't have to entertain the nonsense. Fuck off! No one gets it. So Vicky says, trust me, there's some of their shit like, what the fuck, guys? Ah! But also sometimes I'll think I don't like something, then listen to it a few times and end up loving it. Just depends, though. Let's pretend she made perfect sense. I hear, yeah. The English is already so terrible I can't help but make fun of it because these are the people that are going to ultimately oppose me, right? And not even be able to grammatically oppose me. I hear ya. Miracles is a great song, but was horrible for us who care about an education and self-improvement. They basically said we're stupid and choose to stay that way. Well, anybody who's actually heard the song Miracles, the big joke to line is, fucking magnets, how do they work? But you'll see my response. So, I said, Darky Caucasian. Whatever. That's his name. I ain't even making fun of him. He's making fun of himself. I said, then you were never a juggalo. I don't like the new music either, but a juggalo is an attitude. It's the black flame. It's being whoever and whatever you are with the attitude of fuck the world. Or anyone who might hate you for simply existing as an individual. The music has also turned more occult, a word that means hidden, and gang-oriented. Numerology and arithmancy, 17, and other such nonsense. Contradictions of scrubbing, that is, for those of you who don't know, like rap lingo, scrubbing is getting by and not really having much, being poor. You know, like Jeff Foxworthy did with You Might Be a Redneck and took pride in being the underclass. So too do juggalos with not having much. And give it all to a juggalo who's never had a thing. So I said contradictions of scrubbing turn to heavy drug use. We never play on the radio, does a guest spot on the radio on a show called Loveline and other things. Being a juggalo, though, is different than being a blind follower of who started it. And they're quick to point it out, actually. ICP makes several points to say, we couldn't have predicted or created this shit on purpose. It evolved, you know. Because being a juggalo would be not subscribing to every song, tuning into what you like, tuning out to what you don't. That's a juggalo. Fuck the world. So I said juggalos being different than being a blind follower to who started it. They may have sold themselves out, but not all of us have. You were born a juggalo or not. You were born a pagan or not. To be oneself unashamed is what it's about. To embrace your brother and sister equally for their strangeness, or fuck off if you can't. Even hearing them when I was younger. I didn't like every song, but I thought they were creative, albeit with basic lyrics. They talk like Trump, dumbed down that all people can understand it. Not to be super clever. And I love that they played off the Puppet Master and the Toy Man movies. I meant to say Doll Man, like Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys and such. And other things that were great joys of my life. Moon Pictures, if y'all are interested. Juggalo has nothing to do necessarily with gangs. It just evolved, and Juggalo has nothing to do with the music. It's all just a symbol, like Satanist, like metalhead. It's to say, yeah, I'm okay with rapping against the grain. We're the shit. Dark Caucasian says, Darky Caucasian. It's just like cringe every time I read his fucking name. I was bumping ICP when you were a nut stain in your mama's drawers. And that's a reference to one of their songs. At least I hope belonging to you very young, buying into all that bees. It's just music made for money. In my time, being juggalo was more about ridding the world of evil people, not being pussies. Some people need to feel shame. It's how you evolve. I don't even remember seeing this one. He must have typed it at the same time as I typed one of his messages. Because one thing that Facebook does is when I go to click notifications, it used to, back in the day, take you straight to what happened. Now it just takes you to the thread, and after a certain number of replies, it gets lost in the matrix, and I have to read through every one to try to find it. Which is another reason why I do videos this way when I'm reading off Facebook war comments or whatever. However you want to see it, I have no enemies. And so, it's just how we evolve. I said, no. This is in the response to the fucking, the one line ruined it. There it is. Miracles is a great song, but it's horrible for us who wanted education. No, it's not. How does a song stop you from going to school? People do this shit all the time. They project their insecurities and unhappiness with themselves, which is anti-juggalo, by the way. I love me. I'm great. You should love you. You're great. You make a great whatever the fuck you are, listener. I don't have to know your every life's detail. I know that you can't be exactly replicated the exact same, which makes you pretty fucking cool. The star card of the tarot, shining your own unique brilliance up there in the sky. So I elaborate and I say, no. Miracles, man, you didn't hear the message. Miracles was about being awe-inspired, about the complexities of things that no matter how big or small, how amazing life is, it's about a paradigm shift from looking for darkness everywhere and therefore finding it, to instead looking for greatness in everything, no matter how seemingly insignificant. I used to tell this story to people, and I still tell this story to people a lot, actually. My own parable, or metaphor, if you will. Imagine we are walking outdoors through a garden. I say, wow, man, did you see that bird? Fucking incredible, that shit was huge. Meanwhile, you walk beside me and you don't see the bird, and you say, ew, there's dog shit on the ground. I redirect and I say, hey man, look at all those trees pumping all of this oxygen out, those sick ass flowers. And you say, but there's dog shit on the ground. And I say, never mind that, homie, look at all these amazing plants. So many different types. Look at all these bugs. It's incredible. Check out how huge that skyscraper is way over there. You know, and then they would probably point out the smog and the pollution and what have you. The moral is, most people look for the dog shit, so they never see the wonder. And when you do become educated, a little of that joy dies. The mystery is solved. You know now that there's birds, trees, and dog shit, but more often than not, people choose to focus on the dog shit instead of, for lack of a better word, all the miracles, all the beauty, all the gorgeousness, all the awesome complexity of the fucking world. So it's not the best title or song perhaps, but this is what they're talking about. And he says, in one line, ruined it all. We know how shit works, and we didn't want to listen to someone who does. Didn't ruin the song. It just made us all look incredibly ignorant. We've all had enough of that. Did it make you look ignorant? I don't recall this song saying darky Caucasian can't learn things. See, that's another projection, another insecurity, another demand that society matches us and talks to us and treats us a certain sensitive little way for us to fucking love ourselves or feel okay being a part of it. And this is true of so many things. So, I don't think music is to blame. And you can replace the word music with anybody. You're to fucking blame. Whatever your issue, whatever your unhappiness, despite that others make it easier to stay unhappy, you're to fucking blame, listener. For all of it. When the bully at school fucks with you when you go home, you're your fucking mental bully. Has nothing to do with them anymore. You continue the wretched cycle. Oppression becomes repression and obsession. But let's not digress from reading these comments with this real-ass rant. So I don't think music or whatever is to blame for how people choose to feel or think about themselves. As you put it yourself, it don't ruin a good song. Therefore, is it not equally truthfully valid that no one, a musical artist, a public speaker, or otherwise is responsible for the emotions, the thoughts, or the interpretations of the listening party? The Christian Bible, though I do not identify as Christian, has a fun expression. See no, hear no, speak no evil. Yet many people choose to tune into things they don't like and cast judgments over their own decisions to tune in. The exact opposite of what a juggalo is. Fuck the world. A juggalo knows himself and his worth and is not challenged by the standards or expectations of a sick society, of words and emotions of others, of rhetoric or rigmarole cast at them. They have become the center of many people's punchlines and jokes, and nothing has stopped them. The message that they teach, therefore, is the same. Love thyself. And it is ruined, by the way. Ruined is not a word. You're responsible for your happiness. Blaming anyone for how you feel is childish. Like playing a video game and saying, you made me die, which I did when I was a child. But also another great Bible quote, which I didn't put in here, is, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Corinthians 1:17-11, I think it is. So yeah, you made me die! No the fuck we didn't. No, they didn't. You lack focus. Directed at attention to the wrong thing made you die. You know, you're playing the video game, someone else comes in, talks, or does whatever, and your inability, this could be true of any of us, to hyper-focus on the task at hand, to do what we're trying to do. Instead, we split and divided our attention, gave this person attention, made a mistake. Us! We pushed the wrong button, or didn't push the right button, and then died on the video game. That's us. That's not society. That's not a fucking song. That's not another speaker. That's not his, her, they, it, she, dragon, whatever, politics and identities. It's none of their fucking faults that you made a decision that didn't benefit you. Nevertheless, we made you die. Okay. A lack of education had you interpret things personally. Especially if the people you interpret, like ICP, are not going to take the time to interpret you. Whoop whoop. We are what we are, and we owe no one an apology nor an explanation. People choose to commit crime in our name. It has nothing to do with us. Whoop whoop. People choose to hate themselves or feel stupid. That has nothing to do with us. Whoop whoop. People want to be butthurt over anything. The song ends. The thoughts, the emotions. This is you attacking you. It's funny how people have had enough of society existing. They point fingers with... This is actually why I wanted to make the video, just so I could fucking do this. With 3 pointing back at them. They point fingers with 3 pointing back at them. Where was I here? Okay. So they point fingers with 3 back at them in doing so. Blind as a bat. This is a little self-quote from my childhood self that I used to tell people. Intelligence is rare. When you find it, collect as much as possible. Kevin F. La Liberty Jr., that's me. Okay. Everyone wants to control and dictate everyone else. Unable to be happy or love unless love is delivered to them in a particular familiar acceptable package. It's not love, by the way. Love is acceptance. Love is all-encompassing. Love is beyond space and time. Love is saying that I can love the things that I don't like because that makes a pretty cool thing. Without the moon, I would not know what the fucking sun is. That's love. That's true understanding instead of saying, oh, okay. I couldn't really appreciate one without the contrast. So I love everything including opposition, which is why I use the word Satanist so much, because Satan is the Hebrew word for oppose. But this isn't what most people do. Okay? They say instead, the reason for much unhappiness in the world. I refuse to be happy unless blank circumstances are met. You should totally read a book, by the way, if you guys want a book no larger than a Goosebumps book. It is called Awareness, the Perils and Opportunities of Reality by Anthony D. Mello. M-E-L-L-O. L-L. It's fun to say. Anthony de Mello, and it shakes up your foundation on what love it is and things like that. I refuse to be happy. There's a great chapter. Just read the one on love. It'll change your fucking life, man. You'll self-empower. You'll stop having a lot of hate. You'll stop projecting a lot of things. You'll take personal responsibility and build and be much happier in every aspect of life. And you will still be able to go do the same things and do relationships and do whatever, but it will be without the illusion and the demands that you're placing on other people that are ultimately impossible to be met. It'll be without only being able to be happy if other people treat you a certain way, because you're going to love yourself and no longer seek that codependence from the outside world. So read that chapter. I'm sure it's a PDF and an online copy somewhere, but it's not a very expensive book, so check into it if you're interested. Awareness, the Perils and Opportunities of Reality by Anthony D. Mello. Okay? Unless blank circumstances are met. Music used to be about music. You should see like Twisted Sister do an interview, by the way. It's about the music, man. Love used to be about love, but now it's about worship me or you're a bad guy with some hate speech. There is no hate speech. Not really. It's unnecessary. People generally oppress themselves. All we have to do is smile and have a good time, and the man in the suit with the briefcase on the bus sitting across from us, seeing us smile and nod along in the earbuds, feels like punching through our skull to the window behind us. Because what we have is something they don't. Love. Self-love. We don't seek rainbow outfits and demand society respect us because we respect us. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. Love yourself, fool. We don't seek it. You get hurt. You. Because you are waiting. Waiting. I'm preaching a lot about codependency recently. You're waiting for people to agree with you to be okay with yourself. And that'll never happen. You're not going to get the entire world to clone you. There's way too many types of people, so you're going to have to accept the fact that difference exists and learn to love yourself instead of expecting everybody to talk to you a certain way, address you by a certain name, address you by a certain title, wear a certain type of clothing. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Those things will never happen. And I added on, because I wanted it to be simple in case you didn't want to read this book. People do like to fucking pick on books, but I don't care. I have a lot to say, and I'm going to say it anyway, whether people read it or not. It's out there for those who do want to read it. To be clear, no one can make you look ignorant, because you remember his claim earlier. If not, you can scroll back up or rewind. rather. He said that it made people who want to seek an education, instead of seeking an education, it makes us look ignorant or something along those lines. So to be clear, no one can make you look ignorant. No one dresses you for you. No one chooses your language for you. No one speaks for you. They speak to you or around you even rather than to you. Radio stations can be tuned, right? No one forces anything on anyone. People are I mean, even if you had a gun pointed at your head, think about this philosophically. I point a fucking gun to your head, and I say, hey man, smoke this cigarette. It'll make you fucking feel better. Or whatever, because it's a stupid analogy. You get to choose to die or not. So you still chose the fucking cigarette. There is no force. There isn't. There's weak-willed individuals that can't be comfortable with themselves, and they give all of their power and decisions and emotions and thoughts away to other better people who understand that ultimately they can dictate their way through life, knowing that people will bend. You know, I'm very self-sacrificial to a point. You know, but I do understand that at the end of the day, I'm my master. I'm choosing to give in or not. I'm choosing to hate or to love. I'm choosing whether to get mad at this person or to learn from the event so that I never have to be upset about whatever triggered me again. So radio stations can be tuned. No one forces anything on anyone. People are generally submissive and passive-aggressive, complaining only after the fact. Somehow this double posted. But there you go. There you go. Or did it? Maybe I just said the same thing in different ways. Okay, no, it's the same thing. Okay, so, there you go. More codependency in the world, demanding that I can't be myself unless musical artists. Art, man. Do you think people understood half of this shit until after their death? That's what happens. You know, cutting off your fucking ear, drawing some abstract thing, demons. You know, do you think Mona Lisa had like too directive a meaning? That was probably just some chick he liked. But after they die, everybody gets to overanalyze and make it a whole other meaning. And those people, Edgar Allan Poe, especially creative writers, man, since we're talking about music, people don't tend to understand them until after they're dead. And then they don't even have the ability to defend themselves or to talk about what their work actually meant. So it all kind of becomes heresy anyway. But they're definitely not admired or respected for the most part until they're dead. While they're alive, everybody wants to bitch, complain. I can't believe you said the N-word in a rap song. Oh my God, I'm going to lay a brick. I can't believe that you can't believe it. That in a creative medium that someone would say something shocking or strange or funny or abstract or metaphorical or some dark humor in a music called fucking horrorcore, which was relatively new. It was definitely more popularized through them at the time. You know, I can't believe that you're looking for an artist to speak to somehow in a pre-recorded track before ever meeting you, appease every single type of mind in existence out there. You know why half of my videos contradict? Because I make videos so that I can address different types of emotions where they're at. Different types of minds where they're at. And I'd like to think that ICP does the same thing. There's lots of contradictions. You know, but if you imagine that you're different fans tuning in for the first time to try to receive a love and an understanding of oneself, to shut down all the barriers and limitations of societal expectations that you've received and been pre-programmed with your whole life before finding someone that is speaking to you in a Bible or a song or a path to try to insinuate that, hey man, you don't really have to tune into their nonsense. What are they going to do? Kill you and break their own fucking rules? Right? And if they do kill you, Shangri-La. If they kill you, they make you a martyr. They make you a hero. They make you look that much more right for speaking and spreading love and truth and dying in the fucking process if that is a result. If you end up... That's why Alex Jones has not been killed. He's been threatened by the FBI and all kinds of... Oh, we'll get you for these supplements or something. We'll find a way to shut you down. And in every way they could, they tried to censor him. In every way they could, they tried to censor ICP. Call them demon worshippers and all kinds of stuff. Did it matter? No, it made them way fucking stronger. Now people have to go investigate. Now people have to look twice as hard at this. You cannot kill a message. You can kill a messenger, But you can't kill a message. You make the message that much more stronger. So when you fight something, there's a rule on the internet. By arguing with trolls, it means that they have won. You know, um, no one cares. You're on the fucking internet talking to strangers. You know what I'm saying? But people like to think all this political shit that it makes a huge, big difference having this opinion or that. Every one of my videos can roll around to be saying the same message in one way or another. Love yourself, dude. Don't wait for them to do it. You're going to be very unhappy if you do. Don't be codependent. Find that spark inside that knows that you're something special, that there ain't another one, no matter how shitty your artwork is, say. Right? Let's say Van Gogh was actually a terrible painter, for the sake of argument, and that his abstract and stretchy ass designs were not optically accurate, right? This apple don't look like an apple to me, say, you know. Well, guess what, dude? That makes him a fucking genius. That makes him the star of the tarot, like I mentioned, a unique individual. Because here's the thing, apart from the very few idiot savant syndromes, as it were. No one can quite duplicate your shittiness as equally as you shit performed that art, which makes your art 100% unique in you, which makes you pretty fucking badass. That's love. You see how I have that for me and for all of you? That's what I hope to lead you guys to in making a pointless retort against this argument, against talking about these things. Because I hope that you find love instead of hatred everywhere you go. That's what you choose to see. Oh, they didn't want me to be educated. Where the fuck does that song say don't go to school? Don't read science books, which is a fun myth going around now, but all science is racist. It's fucking strange, isn't it? No. That's just hate toppled on hate on hate on hate on hate on hate. If you love yourself, half of the problems in the fucking world don't matter. And it takes a long time to get there in a world that tries to teach you not to love, to separate, to segregate, to see things as black versus white, good versus evil. There ain't no good. There ain't no evil. Notice how I'm talking to meet you on your level of this broken ass English. There is no. You know, there is agreeable and disagreeable. What's right for you may not be right for them. There's what was that one funny expression? It takes all kinds of fruit. It takes all kinds of ingredients to make gumbo. I think it was something like that. You know, or all kinds of fruit to make fruit cup. Interesting. That light. You know, so life is variety. Society is variety. You know, even in a lot of these racial arguments that people make, you need to notice, they try to copy our slang and everything that we know. And Joyner Lucas's song, the African Americans expression part of it went. And no shit. It's society. We all share that shit together. You know, just like you want the things that you claim that we have that you aren't having access and rights to in this version of the argument, looking at black versus white. We should be adopting each other's strengths and intelligences. We should be loving ourselves and not giving a fuck if other people do not like that shit. That's what it means when I say I'm a Satanist. That's what it means when I say, whoop whoop. Yeah? Love your fucking self. This shit is retarded. Song lyrics are never going to be perfect enough for you, man. You're going to find hate everywhere you go looking at the world that way. So are all these other folks. You know, what is a Juggalo? I mean, go back and re-listen to some of these songs you did once enjoy and try to do it with the innocence of a child. Try to do it with love in your heart instead of all the stuff as we've grown, to use another Christian expression, be as children. As we grow up, we learn new rule sets, new limitations, new ways of looking at the world. We have a paradigm shift in the wrong direction because we are taught to fit in. We're taught to wear suits and ties. As I used that story of the guy on the bus, he fucking hates himself because he's doing stuff he don't enjoy so that he can have a paycheck so he can try to have a basic existence in the world. But people in poverty find God much better. And I replace God to say love, if you need me to say that. And that's because they already don't fit in. So it don't matter how many steps they would take, they're really never going to get to fit in. And therefore, they can learn to appreciate actually what they have, not what they don't have, actually who they are, not who people wish them to be, which is impossible to take the shape of, you know. We have to wear a certain outfit to go to church, right? Or we're supposed to, or so we're told. But the Bible would equally tell you that the poor man gets into heaven faster than the rich. To love thy neighbor and to love thy enemy more than your friend. You know? So the expressions are all out there. It's nothing that hasn't been said before, but you're constantly shape-shifting all day long. And I feel like you're giving an argument here, Darky Caucuson, to seek destruction, to seek hate, to they didn't word things quite right for me, so I'm gonna hate myself and I'm gonna blame these artists and they called me stupid. None of that shit's in those lyrics, by the way. Go re-listen to that song. They didn't call you ignorant. Fucking and by the way, even if they use the word ignorant, ignorant ain't the same thing as stupid. Ignorant means I don't presently know. Stupid means I am unwilling to learn, right? Albert Einstein said the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Even though he was a fraud and stole over 90% of his work. And you can actually research that too if you want to. But see, that's the thing. People don't research. They just love what they hear or hate what they hear and roll with it. And that's what allows those people who do understand psychology to manipulate and control you, to get the sales or not, to dominate your life and to dictate how you act, because you're actually not self-reflecting, you're just reacting. You're not acting, you're reacting to the stimuli given to you. If I say the N-word, I can make everybody around me flip shit without any context, without any sentence around it, just because they feel this way or that. They're not thinking, and that's a huge fucking problem in society, okay? If this person says that miracles or fascination of wonder in a song is more important in their perspective, in their personal fucking artistic journal that is music, that is self-expression, says that the wonder is more important than the fact, who are you? Who are you? Right? Like, really, at the end of the day, and you should be feeling the same way. Who are they? Who are they? Allow me to speak into your life, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the clues are right there if you want to be happy, but you don't. You want hate, and so many people want hate. And I hate to use you as an example here, but it's a good example. We need to change how we're looking at the world if we're going to be happy. And I doubt most people will ever find happiness. To use yet another Christian example. While I wear this symbol, I might off-quote it, but the message is roughly the same. The path to heaven is the narrow path. Very few will walk it. To use my own version, people love walking through the woods, but they hate staying on a path. Some people pick the right-hand path. Call it God or Jesus. Some people pick the left-hand path. Call it Satan or the devil. Some people pick the middle-hand path, which takes putting both of those paths, those hands, together to make a complete circuit. People walk through the woods, hopping from one path. Oh, cool, let's go this way. Oh, this one's a little wider, let's walk that way. Okay, actually, this one's kind of blocked off a little bit. I don't want to walk through the brush and through the thorns and shit, so let's go this way. And before you know it, they're lost. The most important thing in a survival situation is to stay put. Well, I don't know how much I 100% agree with that, but the real logic is that while you panic, while you keep deviating, you end up walking hundreds of miles in the wrong direction from continuing this relentless pursuit of a one-way type of thinking, which is essentially stressful thinking. I hope this helps people. This is what is a Juggalo. This is what is a Satanist. This is what the Black Flame is, Labarazurate, and all of these other things that we've tried to teach humanity for thousands and thousands of years. No one can force you. No one can truly take away that free will. People have died for their beliefs before, and it's rare that you're really going to encounter that exact sort of circumstances, but they are out there. But nevertheless, how much more important it is to love yourself on the way out, to have a great time until then, and be proven right ultimately, even if you do get capped, or hung, or guillotined. Shink! Love your fucking self, and all of these problems go away. I'm Kevin Chaos, Juggalo Trip, Manic Maniac, the Autistic Wizard, and many other names and labels. But at the end of the day, you see, you could have identified me as one of those things and chose all of them to contradict each other, should you choose to see separation instead of, wow, look at the trees, wow, look at all this intricate shit that's interconnected. The trees, the plants, the air, the fucking different fauna and flowers and insects and shit, the humans of all variety of colors, but still all called humans. Till recently, because now we have to call it person kind because females feel excluded calling it mankind. You see, this is unhappiness at its finest. Finest. Play some words, yeah? This is unhappiness, and you're not going to find joy looking for the world to clone you. It's not going to ever fucking happen. There's way too much kinds of life. We're just going to continue to mutate our fucking genes. We're going to continue to experiment and create new shit, whether it comes from our thoughts manifesting in the material world or from processes of nature interacting with each other. Just like we've created, let's say, mixed people, you know. Well, that's actually not right, but you know what the fuck I'm saying. We're going to have more blended peoples by being together. You know, we're going to continue to involve ourselves in abstract and alternate thoughts, alternate skin colors, alternate ideas, alternate feelings. So, knowing that that's always going to be the case, do you think that the world is going to just be able to please you? So if you know that for a fact, if you know that the world is 100% incapable of pleasing you, because there's a lot of elements in the world. There's fire, there's air, there's earth, there's water, there's white, there's black, there's Asian, etc. If you know for a fact that all these things are different and all these things exist, then you know that not all of them can treat you a certain way, because you're going to run into another shape, another manifestation of this divine, interconnected, awesome shit. You know? You don't need to believe in God, but you can say that it's pretty fucking divine, pretty rad, pretty awesome, pretty dope. Fly. We're the shit. And the sooner you recognize that you're the shit too, the sooner all your complaints, all your feelings, all your hate, all your discontent and unhappiness just right out the window. And you can have this. If you haven't seen it, go check out my videos of Christian neighbors try their damnedest and see how hilarious of a great time I am having being challenged by those who can hate me. How fucking silly it is. How unhappy they are every fucking day. And how happy I am that they're unhappy. Or more particularly, that it doesn't have anything to do with me. There's nothing I can do. I can't show these motherfuckers love. I mean, I can continue to display it. Doesn't matter. That's not what they want to see, right? So no matter what, hating me, trying to attack me, making me wrong, demanding that I act a certain way, I have to pray a certain way to fit into this shit, that's not going to happen. And that just means that this person, until they get off their high horse and accept that there are different forms of life, they're going to be unhappy forever. They need that paradigm shift too. But anyway, because who knows how long this already is. My name's Kevin Chaos. I'm a Juggalo. Whoop whoop! We're the shit. Nothing fucking matters. Tune into love. Tune into what matters. Tune out the nonsense. This is how you're controlled and manipulated in general anyway. Where do I approach this different? I could have made a great fool out of you and had a whole lot of fun with you. And sometimes I do that to prove a point as well. But what I try to advocate and teach is that you can feel this all the time. That it's as simple as you controlling yourself and not letting the world control you. Hope it helps. Kevin Chaos.